What's up, everybody? Back again, Warp Charge Gaming with the Thursday night live talk show on Tabletop Wargaming. I'm here with James. I'm George. Howdy, howdy.
What up, world?
This is episode 42. And we are live in the game store. At least I am here in Battlegrounds in Midlothian, Virginia. That's the exciting news of the week, really, is it's just been move-in time. We kind of got the party started last week as it began, but the renovations, they just finished last night, James.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, I was here last night and we moved all of the one side of the store to the other side of the store and like ripped up carpet that was here from years and years ago. And got all new carpet in here. It smells like a new car in this bitch. Walls down. It's huge. It looks beautiful. The counter's all set up and center displayed. And I got an image here of the initial setup here for the Warp Charge Gaming Studios and Tabletop Alchemy. You can see the Tabletop Alchemy retail cases there, the green screen that I'm behind right now, and the rig there with our own custom lighting set up over our table, our green screen dice cam designed by Ice Wolf from the Netherlands. It's a pretty beautiful thing. We're getting a lot of people cruising by and like, wow, look at this. It just looks really nice, James.
It looks great. That table does not look 6x4 though.
Yeah, really. So, like, it's bigger. Than that.
Okay, so like the fact that that's bigger than 6x4, that space is way bigger than it looks like.
Yeah, like, no, this is a large space. I mean, that's got to be by 10 by 20 ish, something bigger than that even. Because I mean, there's some large gaps on the side of that table. I'll throw it back up while we talk about it. Yeah, because there's enough of a space to do a full like treading walkway around the whole table as well. It's sick. I love seeing all this stuff out on display. Printing stuff's been going beautifully. We're not going to talk too much about Tabletop Alchemy because we have a Monday night talk show for that, and you can join us Mondays at 9 Eastern Standard Time to hear us all about that. Here's the old Battlegrounds Warp Charge logo, the partnership that keeps on giving. And just while we're talking about our partners, I'll throw up the old sponsor logo here and thank Best Coast Pairing, Death Ray Designs, Game Matter EU, Crystal Fortress, and Worlds Overrun. Worlds Overrun's the design company that we partnered with for our Tabletop Alchemy 3D printing. It's pretty sick. I've been coming to the game store every day now. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's super wild. Especially seeing that the case with all that stuff. Like every single one of those things was created by you and your alchemy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting to like know where everything is in the store and like helping people out and oh, where's this thing? Oh, George knows where it's at. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. But yeah, man, having a hardwire to the router and just having all the benefits of the store, which, you know, speaking of benefits, and we've really been procrastinating, but really just been having too much stuff fall in the way. But man, I cannot wait to tell everyone about all the details of the Patreon. And just to give a little sneak peek to the few that check out our live shows here is we're going to be doing some giveaways twice a month. And the beauty of having Battlegrounds back Warp Charge, we're basically taking what they give us as compensation to be here in the store on a daily basis, and we're throwing it right back into our supporters. So we're going to do 2 giveaways a month. That's going to be over $150 in retail product. And people are going to be able to choose whatever they want because we have the power of an entire game store. It's like go to town. I cannot wait to be able to offer people characters, kill team boxes, start collecting boxes. I almost filmed the funny video we were talking about too, James, where I run around the store and just gank stuff off the shelves.
Yes, because that's what I would do.
It's going to happen.
You're telling me you knocked down a wall, so there's more space for activities?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm running around and having fun playing activities.
You could have a skating rink up in this bitch. Yeah, here's a picture of when we had 44 people come to our tournament.
Can you have like a wiffle ball home run derby?
You could. This you can see all these people compacted in this picture of 44 people that came to our last event, and that is just one little section of the store. And now you can amplify that by times almost 10 worth of space. It's the largest store in Virginia, over the 7,000 square feet. So I'm a little pumped to be here.
Dude. Why is it that Austin looks like the most thuggish in the whole like picture?
Because he thugged everyone.
Dude, looking super thuggy.
He crushed everybody. Speaking of which, I just posted that video, and I have the thumbnail here. I just threw some words over your excellent design, so nothing to brag about. But you can see there that Beast Coast and the Wobbly Modelers, some reputable team names that are out there in the community. They faced off at the top table at our last tournament. I just got that posted. It took 40 hours to export that video. Don't ask me why. But it is now up on YouTube, and you can watch that. It's a fun match. It's only a couple hours long. Magnus and Morty up against Admech. And I love seeing the Imperium get whacked on, and that's kind of what went down. Spoiler alert. You can also check out, oh, well, actually, this isn't up yet, but I can't wait. I'm going to post that as soon as we get off here. But we just finished our first arena matchup. So Kill Team Arena, that's people have been asking about what we think about it. Here's a look at the board. We got all the doors and all the terrain in the box set painted up. You can see that we've actually simulated the three dimension. The 2D board has just like dark red lines to show the walls, but we actually put that in physical space. Had an awesome arena commander kill team match, and you guys can see that bat rep coming up after later tonight. So Gellerpox versus the Death Guard. We're doing a lot of commander bat reps right now because this upcoming weekend, this Saturday, is a commander kill team tournament. Can't wait. It's going to be the Nova Open missions. I'm really excited for when more people get arena, because that's part of what people are talking shit about online right now is that, like, yeah, it's a good tournament format in the book there, but it requires everyone, unlike the core box and things, to actually buy arena in order to have an arena tournament. So,
well, isn't that like Shadespire anyways? You have the board.
Yeah.
Shadespire.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's kind of like, big deal. Like, everyone should get it.
Core kill team is like just 40k models.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it is a hindrance as we get people involved with it before we can just jump right in. Because I would love to just make this tournament an arena tournament. The missions are super fun. It's practically the same thing as the Nova Open missions, which the Nova Open missions for Kill Team was a historical moment for GW as a whole, where they actually made an official major tournament package. I remember years ago, GW claimed to just be about the models, and the game was kind of second nature, that they felt that the hobbyist and the collector was more of their prime business than actually the players. And it's been a beautiful turnaround over the last few years, and the GW Nova missions were a good testament to that changeover. And even with the Kill Team Arena box set, it's another precedence for them, as they made a code of conduct that they put in print. It's pretty neat, James. Actually, in the arena book, they have a whole breakdown to how you should behave at a tournament and how how a TO should operate. So it standardizes.
That's pretty awesome, because the ITC had to do a lot of work, working with TOs to get their floor ruling for their tournaments. So it's nice to see GW taking that same footstep in a smaller game that obviously has more balance than just a large game like 40k. Because they are currently not the ones that put on the largest tournaments anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you just made me think too, man. I'm really excited for the channel to feature some Age of Sigmar. I've been wanting to get into it, but Khorne, the latest news is that Khorne is getting their own battle tome for Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, the new Skull Taker's coming with it.
Exactly. So I have a bunch of Khorne. I got a huge murder host for the Age of Sigmar War Scrolls, and I'm really excited to dive in with the release of that book.
Dude, I'm actually pretty excited about all this new 40k chaos stuff that's coming. It's not necessarily demons, but it's new 40k chaos stuff.
New obliterators.
Well, they dropped a tease of the obliterators. They dropped the new demon engine. It's like a giant spider.
Right.
But they're doing these demon engine, like rumor engine, how they used to have the rumor engine and show like things of new models. Well, now they're calling it demon engine.
Yeah.
And it's basically for these new things coming out. And they show new artwork for the Vigilus, and it has like these possessed looking dudes, and they have like a crab looking claw.
Yeah.
And in the demon engine teaser photo, it like is a perfect cutout of that artwork of the dude's claw. And it's like, oh, we're getting new possessed.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm so excited for new possessed, because my thought of like the way they're gonna make possessed awesome again, because possessed are like demons, but like it's the Marines that changed over. I can see him doing Primaris possessed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be wild.
Because we didn't get Primaris like Chaos Space Marines because they all like fell, so we don't have that gene seed. But we can possess some Primaris.
That's a trippy thought. I like that.
Right? And make them fucking huge, because like possessed already have 2 wounds compared to a normal like Marine.
Yeah.
So like, give them 3 wounds, make them fast as hell.
Dude, there was a funny joke about the new Abaddon model going around the store, where they were talking about how like the Abaddon model basically is the exact same sculpt as Guilliman, and that it's just a remix of the same design. And so, like, wouldn't it be hilarious just to, like, kind of troll G-Man if they literally, when you bought just the new kit is a G-Man Abaddon kit, and you just choose which one you make. And
that'd be hilarious.
They just thought it was funny as shit. You know, you just buy basically just upgrade screws that are just in the box.
Yeah, no, that's definitely funny.
Yeah,
I actually like the troll that GW did with their video. It took a while for it to sink in on me because I'm not a Space Marine player.
Right.
But all these like new models are always dropping these new Primaris Lieutenant Captain dudes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always this new lieutenant, and like their teaser video was like the Primaris Lieutenant you've been waiting for, and it shows a picture of Abaddon's base that like he's standing on a lieutenant.
Yeah,
and it's like that's so dope.
Yeah. No, he's a bad mofo. I'm not a big lore buff, but I've been hearing apparently like you know, like Morty and Magnus and stuff, they follow suit to Abaddon. Like they're like Abaddon makes some decisions and they're like, yeah, we're gonna listen to him. Apparently that's how the lore goes.
Yeah, he's the War Master. He makes the right decision. He plays it for the long game. Like he's the lore is he lost all those other crusades to set himself up for victory of taking Cadia. And like now, like pushing forward as like the main threat in the galaxy.
Respect.
I guess maybe he's just a loser and he has this great outlook on life, and he's like, you know what? Good.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk too. Is it Abaddon or Abaddon? And apparently GW calls it Abaddon.
No, I like Abadigadidon.
Abadiggity. You know, it's also, you know, speaking of Age of Sigmar and other games too, James, we put up 2 videos over this past week. One, you know, letting people know we're in the store and inviting people to come play on stream. And we've actually gotten hit up by quite a few of the communities here locally that want to be on the rig. So coming soon on the channel, we're going to be showing, we'll make a new specialized playlist for all kinds of different games. Like I know this Saturday, there's an next Saturday, there's an Infinity tournament in the store, and we're going to, you know, we want to entangle with the community as much as possible. So we're going to be streaming that. There's a large bolt action community here, and I know we're going to be streaming that. And I personally have just gotten heavily into Gaslands. Here's a look at a racetrack that we've been rocking. This game is fun as hell. It's basically kill teams with race cars. So I've been loving it, and you're definitely going to see some of that on the channel. Been learning and teaching that. There's also there's this community here, Oscar Lars. He does amazing painting, has a commission channel. You can go check out his Instagram. But he set up he made like 4 amazing boards for this game called Exodus, and it's like a sci-fi Wild West game. So there's like steampunk sci-fi mixed in with like a Wild West atmosphere. So you're having like showdowns on the at high noon kind of thing. But his boards and his models and everything just looks incredible, and we should be featuring that too. So excited to be showing a lot of content, and I mean, ever since we got in the store, it's pretty much been a daily output. I'm actually stacked with videos. We just filmed last night. If you guys watch us on Twitch, or we're live on there faster than we can put the videos up on YouTube. But we just filmed the new Gene Stealer book. We did Gene Stealers versus Nurgle Demons, and we've also filmed a Chris, you know, known and loved as a fantastic wealth of knowledge for Tyranids and Gene Stealers. He's going to be doing. We already filmed his breakdown video, kind of a tactic video with first impressions. So I got to edit that up and get that out right away. So just lots of stuff coming down the pipeline, guys, and really looking forward to it. And this is all ramping up. You know, speaking of the how to play or come play video and stuff like that, we also announced a tournament league. So this past February 2nd, where we had 44 players come out, we're actually going to be doing our own circuit right here for the store called the Battle in the Warp. And every tournament we do now through the June is going to be going towards a league grand prize. And we're doing all the scoring with Best Coast Pairing and the Event Suite app that they also designed. So that's really exciting. The next tournament coming up, we're doing them on the first weekend of each month. And March 2nd, we're doing a doubles tournament. A lot of excitement. Been seeing a lot of folks come in the store and practice their doubles lists. It's pretty sweet, man. I'm excited about it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I really love doubles games. Speaking of which, I just went to a doubles tournament on Saturday.
Oh, cool. How'd it go?
We lost 2, won 1. But we were trying for the most mediocre. That was our goal. Because we were practicing our Adepticon list, because this doubles tournament was actually doing Adepticon detachments. instead of
Oh, nice.
standard attachments.
Oh,
so it
practice.
gave us a chance to practice that out. But it wasn't Adepticon style missions, so it was a little bit different. There was no incentive to get the Warlord, but we were making it a personal goal to get the Warlord. Interesting enough, the 2 games that we lost, we killed the Warlord. And the game that we won, we had 3 chances to kill that Warlord, and we did not succeed.
So is there new Adepticon awards based around the Warlord? I'm not aware. I haven't checked out the Adepticon missions.
It's just how it has been every year. There's like, if you slay all the Warlords.
Right. It's like most first strikes, most Warlords, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. All that fun stuff.
Yeah. I bet you that you probably could have done better if you had a new Warp Charge Gaming jersey, James.
I probably would have. I mean, Khorne is the one that let us down. I mean, the orcs like do what orcs do.
Yeah.
And they were more successful in like board control and like actually killing things, because Khorne, you have to just play it real right. And when you only have 3 command points, because I'm so salty with Adepticon on this one. If you're not battle forged by being like a faction that can go together in a normal 2,000 point list,
right,
you don't count as being battle forged, so you don't get like the extra CP of like being battle forged.
That hurts. Yeah,
share CP.
That hurts hybrids so much. Yeah.
Oh, it hurts it so bad, and especially because it's Adepticon detachments, and they made these detachments and command point values prior to the command point change of the brigade and the battalion.
Ooh.
So the base detachment is 3 command points, and it used to be like the battalion's 3 command points.
Right.
So you still only get 3 command points for this base detachment.
Yeah.
And that's all I get for the game.
That doesn't seem very good.
It's bad.
Yeah, that seems like I could do better with that, I think.
Yeah, it makes me real sad. I mean, I don't even know what to do about it. It made me question just Khorne in general as an option. But it's like I just spent the time painting these models, getting them ready, and we're going for Warlord. So like I brought Karnak. So you pick a character to get +1 hit, +1 wound.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't get enough attacks. And that's the only sad part. Yeah.
Man, we were just talking about for our team tournament. There's a funny combo with the new Gene Stealer Cult sniper who snipes psychers and makes them perils. Do that with a demons partner and make it do a D3 2D3 mortal wounds.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. And I've been thinking about taking Gene Stealers for Adepticon after playing the Khorne and how bad they performed.
Yeah.
But the problem is like with these detachment like restrictions, it's very difficult to make 1,000 point list that like is focused on killing characters, because a lot of their stuff is elites. Like that entire codex, like the juice of it is elites. And because of that, it's just like I can only bring 2. So it's either I choose between the 2 killy characters, like the pistol dude and the dude you're talking about that makes people perils, because like both of them are excellent at killing characters. Right. But that's your 2 elites. So now you can't have Gene Stealers, you can't have Aberrants, you can't have like all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a big bummer. And then if you try to go the route of like bringing bikes and the new sniper character that's on a bike, and a patriarch, so that you could have like the fearless bubble, like when you do that, you're still only at like 500 points, and you can't take anything else. All you can do is just like make your units bigger, but like you don't really even want those units.
Is this the Long Wars double or the 4-man team?
4-man team.
Okay.
It's quite difficult to build a proper list of Gene Stealers, not knowing the codex. I mean, if I knew the codex like I know Chaos, it'd be a lot easier.
I haven't got to see if they've posted any sort of kill team rules yet. I really am excited to know what those are going to be like.
Yeah, I'm interested too. They don't do a lot of that stuff until a month out, and we're getting close to that. Maybe in 2 weeks, you'll start seeing that stuff drop.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get on our damn our jerseys. I'll show some pictures. I got them loaded up here. James designed some sickness here. First, I'll show you the one that we did not go with, even though it's still really cool. I really do like.
Before you jump into that, though, since I was talking about that tournament I was at, you gotta show the group photo. You showed a photo of your tournament. You got to show a photo of the tournament I went to.
I didn't see the group photo.
It's in the messenger. Just look in there, right there.
40K style.
Yeah, or no, Warp Charge.
Dude, I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to look at it. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you got it to me post haste. That's okay. I'm gonna load it up. I'm gonna load it up.
I was there. I was right there.
Bam. Open.
Right there.
All right, and about to show our friends at home buttons. That's a nice venue.
Yeah, it's a nice little restaurant with like a party hall area, and they let us go there. And this time they actually opened the bar up earlier for us. They even had breakfast options for us. 10. There is 30 teams, so 60 people.
Wow, that's what we want at our next tournament.
Yeah, and I mean it's at a restaurant, so I mean it's not easy setting up those kind of tables. Like,
yeah, wow.
Bringing everything that you need there. It's not just pulling off the shelf at a game store.
Yo,
I give Tyler a lot of credit for
dude. Yeah, those Gallery 5 events we did here at a music venue.
I know.
It's work.
It's
work. Yeah.
And these guys put in a lot of effort. Like I said, we were shooting for mediocre. We were 4 off from it. And the thing
who won? Who won?
Josh, our buddy Josh.
With factions, what factions?
What did he win it with? He had a dude that traveled from Florida to make the event.
Damn.
And he partnered up with him. I think he was Guard and Space Marines.
Okay. Damn Imperial. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they had a knight in there. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got the most mediocre. But to get most mediocre, I was very shocked because you had to win at least 2 games.
Well, who they got most mediocre? Who actually won the event with what?
Who
factions?
Actually won the event? It was a Castellan with Custodes.
Stupid.
Yeah. Second place though was a Thousand Sons Nurglist.
Shadizo just shouted out, said he's going to be playing his first ITC tournament on the 24th. That's awesome, man. Glad to see you doing some ITC events. That's excellent.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
It is. The ITC missions are awesome, and I'm excited to do ITC missions for our tournament, actually. Even though it's a team tournament, we're still going to play ITC missions. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool, too. Also, what's nice about that tournament is they're giving away cash.
Oh, nice.
And the trophies were just inscribed glasses, like first, second, third, and then most mediocre. But most mediocre, you didn't get cash, but you got a boot.
What's Tyler's gaming group called? Like, do they have a name for their events? That like an organization behind the events.
I think they're Cambridge Undivided.
Yeah.
That's their gaming group. And they call the series of tournaments Battle Brothers, and they try to just do 2 a year.
Okay, cool.
Yep, and they only got spots for or 15 tables. In the summertime, they have an extra 2 tables outside, so that's kind of cool. But it sells out fast, like within 2 days.
That's dope. That's dope. 2 a year, though. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more tasty. I mean, hell, that's what we did at the big tournament hall or the big venue that we rented out. We did it just twice, and that was enough. That was enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, it takes quite a few people to put it together. They have Planet Chaos help throw in some extra prize support, and it's just a nice event overall. I mean, there's no one really having field badsies there.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I threw up for a quick second the jersey that was the second best pick. I do really like the asphalt look and just how much it pops with the colors there. But we ended up going with this kind of ripped shirt with a skeleton underneath. I love the electricity inside the numbers there. So we're getting these printed up ASAP and planning on rocking these this year at Adepticon. We've kind of changed up our shirt designs for Adepticon and Nova traditionally. So we're going to go jersey this time. Looking forward to it. So if you see the purple repping, come holler. Hoping to see lots of friends out there at Adepticon and meeting some new ones. Can't wait, man. Coming your way here soon, James.
It's exciting.
Hell yeah.
I really hope we have the jerseys by then. But if not, we'll at least have them for Nova.
I don't see why they can't get them out soon. We got to get this order going on.
Oh, it's just getting 14 people to cooperate together.
Yeah. Well, if they don't cooperate, they don't have to get a jersey. Here's just because I have the picture loaded up. Here's something pretty cool too. I ended up getting a orc mecha dread from Forge World. My buddy just hooked me up with it. He was chilling on his shelf and he said, "You know what? Here you go, George." So I was thrilled to get this bad boy. Nice, sweet pose on top of like a broken tank. Guy, it's sick. So looking forward to putting that in like a dread mob type orc list. That's my nearest inspiration for 40k. At this point, it's like I almost need like a new model, or it needs to sit on the shelf for a long time before I get excited to play it, or a book, you know.
I have no idea what the hell that is. I'm looking at it, and I can't even make out the details besides the shoulder pads, and it has like arms and legs.
Yeah, it's like it's so gnarly looking with like chains and shit all over it that it's like hard to tell what's going on. It's really sick in person though. Yeah, he did a lot of weathering and stuff, so it just, that's what you see, kind of a blur of that in the picture, but it looks really good in person. But yeah. So let's see. You guys sponsored by Affliction. I'm not sure who Affliction is.
Affliction is a clothing company. They used to have their own like fighting organization. They're a dying company if they're even still around. But they used to do skulls and stuff as like their things.
It's like, we'll save you, Affliction. Give us free shirts. Yeah. Doubt that would work that way.
No, they used to be expensive ass shirts. Like a long sleeve shirt was like $80.
Gotcha. Nah, we're gonna be paying. We're gonna be paying for these things. They're probably pretty pricey. It looks like Affliction. Yeah, I don't remember what site we actually used for his name of the site, but I do think it looks dope. But it was designed by James, so if anything, it's just a jersey with a sweet design that James made on it.
Yeah, that's really it.
Because that's the badassness. George, get with the times. It was a corny joke. Right.
I guess.
Here's Chicken Bone. Just caught the notification. It's my ham radio meeting tonight. You guys have a great night. Right on, bro. Take care, Chicken Bone. Good to see you for a minute there, man.
Dude, so when he says ham radio, he means like the old timey radio, like the group of people that like walkie talkie each other in.
I'm assuming that's what he meant.
Like, I want to know more about this, Chicken Bone.
You got some interesting hobbies there, man. We should get a ham radio ourselves and talk about 40K on ham radio. The ham radio talk show. A whole new audience.
Dude, no, we just do this exact show, but we also do it on ham radios.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Because then we can coincide into Chicken Bone's night.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm going to Google a ham radio right now. A ham radio. It just comes up with like a slice of ham.
No, a ham with just speakers plugged into it.
Yeah. Shopping. They look expensive.
So one thing that we need to talk about, like we have to talk about, and I wish Chris was here.
LVO.
He would have been fantastic. Yes,
yeah.
LVO.
Yeah.
It was a big event. Like the best Necron player got 20th. He only lost one time, but he got 200 ITC points for 20th place.
Did you see Austin Winfield with Wobbly Models? He won our tournament, and he actually got best painted by Army Painter. Did you see that post they did? It's pretty cool. Austin from the Wobbly Models, he's a local guy here, won our local tournament just recently. Got just this year, got invited to join Team America. Is going to go play in Europe this year, and his army got painted by the Wobbly Modelers Commission Company, and it just got featured as best painted at LVO, won from Army Painter, the company. And the sick thing is, I was just going to mention, speaking of Ali, is that I have scheduled to film him and Ali fighting on our channel next Wednesday. So pretty sweet.
Fantastic. I'll definitely tune in for that one.
Yeah.
Because they're two excellent players, and
Ali runs a similar list to the guy that won, right? Yeah, a bunch of planes.
He did not win. His name is Alex something or another.
He's the turtle guy, the guy that had all the turtle proxies?
No, not that I know.
You know what I'm talking about? The guy that had I thought it was the same guy, Team Happy or whatever. And isn't that the guy that was on Team Happy and got knocked out?
Yeah. This dude's on I think Beast Coast, I believe.
I'm thinking of the guy when people made the joke, you got Tony. I'm thinking Tony.
Yeah, that was last year.
The Tony cat. But yeah, apparently this Alex guy with the planes, he had a little bit of a bad rep in London, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess he's banned from the GT. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know some people went down like rabbit holes of looking into this dude because like a lot of people that played him had a lot of bad things to say about him, and he's banned at certain places. So I mean, kind of makes things a little bit more true if you believe in hearsay.
Right.
But he had a 7 flyer list. He actually took out Nick Nanavati, and he took out another orc player. I mean, he took out some top dudes, and he was looking to win the thing. And the reason why is he had 7 flyers, and it's very hard to interact with 7 different flyers.
Yeah.
and they have enough firepower, they have enough screening, they have enough neg to hits. I mean, you have the all-talk flyers. They get neg 1 for being all-talk. Just right there.
Yep.
And they get neg 1 for being supersonic. So those flyers are already neg 2 to hit, and he's got 3 of them. And then for 1 command point, I don't think it's 1 command, maybe it's 2 command points, but you can make another neg 1 on one of them.
Right.
So that makes that plane like almost intargetable.
Yeah.
And then you have the Dark Eldar one, so now you have the ability to cast Vect. So that gets pretty nasty.
Right.
And then you had a bunch of Farseers and like bikes and stuff. So everything had fly, everything had mobility. And with the way the ITC works is as long as you hold something and kill something and pick good secondaries, you're going to win. And a lot of armies don't have a whole lot to deal with that many flyers. They only have so many tools to deal with the fly keyword as far as flyers come into effect. So when you have that many flyers, you can take out the threat to you and then take advantage of the rest of the game. And honestly, it looked like he was going to win the thing. It really did. And he just made some mistakes, and dice rolls didn't go in his way, and Brandon Grant has played amazingly and pulled out the win. I was very, very impressed.
Oh, wow. I heard it was a one-point game, right?
I don't know if it was 1 point, but it was definitely very close. I mean, it was a super close game. You definitely thought Alex was winning it from like the moment you saw the matchup. Yeah. You're like, Alex has got this. And then you saw turn 1 happen, and you're like, Alex has got this. You saw turn 2 happen, you're like, Alex still.
That's what apparently that's what the commentators were. That's what I heard today. Is the commentators were even like, yeah, I think this is wrapped up. And they're like, oh, I think we spoke too soon towards the end, because I guess the strategy the opponent took to all the flyers is he killed everything on the ground so that he couldn't score any objectives, and then he moved all of his bodies from the guard onto the objectives. And while he took a lot of losses, he was still the only one scoring because he just had things in the air.
Pretty much. I mean, he definitely wasn't like going to be tabled or anything like that. But he took away a lot of his scoring abilities, but he also took away his target like options. Like the knight stayed around until turn 3, and that was like the biggest mistake, is the fact that the knight needed to go down turn 2 at the latest.
Yeah.
Ideally turn 1 if you could, but he screened well enough that he had a focus fire into the Bulgren. So he needed to get rid of that knight turn 2, and the fact that it didn't go down turn 2, and it stuck around for, I think, turn 3 or turn 4. It really made his target priority a huge problem. So, like, he was split firing things. He was putting his Farseer in some weird positions that he could have played a little bit more cagey with, and made sure some of his ground dudes are still alive. His bikes in turn 1, he had them where they were peeked out a little too far, so they got focus fired and just wiped away, where he could have definitely played them a little bit more cagey and brought them in up closer to turn 2. I know it's not ideal when you're in like top table, like you're almost like, how can I compare it? It's like if you have a full house in poker, and your opponent, that's just one-on-one,
right?
They also have like really good hands,
right? And
like the only hand that can beat yours is a better full house,
right?
And you decide that you're gonna fold because you know that they would take your chips anyways.
Yeah,
like that's the type of like hardcore strategy of like knowing your situation. That's just hard to do. Yeah, like to like call something like that when you're like, oh, I'm in the good situation. Like those bikes definitely earned him points turn 1, but he could have played him more cagey. Might not have got that 1 point there, but then he could have popped around, taken the guard away because they were the ones pushing forward into the middle, and he could have cleared all that away. And then his Farseer would have never been in like vulnerable positions that later got him bad points. And then the fact that Brandon took ground control, we were just holding objectives at the end.
Right.
Like that was a big deal. Like he could have definitely made sure that if those bikes are there, he could have propped out more units and he held more objectives at the end, which put him over to win the game.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's some good 40K. Another thing that's wild too, man, is that they hit 7,000 viewers on Twitch. And they got put, the LVO was on front page of Twitch. They had 7,000 viewers. I mean, that's like huge for tabletop wargaming. The sport of it all is really growing and great for the business.
Yeah, I watched the last day, all day Sunday. I didn't get a chance to watch Saturday. I did watch Friday, but I couldn't watch Saturday because I was obviously at a tournament. But game 2, when it was front page, you got as high as 13,000 viewers.
Yeah, that's wild, man. We're struggling to hit our 75 average. If you guys could just watch us on Twitch a little bit more when we're live, we need 75 average viewers to be able to make a little affiliation with Twitch there.
I mean, we hit all their other benchmarks. It's just 75 viewers constantly is the hard part.
So we're a long way from anywhere even close to 1,000, not let alone 13,000, man. That is just wild, man.
Before that, at Nova, they didn't hit front page, and the best they got was like 2,500. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't add the front page aspect, they were trending around 3,000 viewers. So definitely a bigger jump than Nova, which is good to see, especially if we're wanting to make this like an esport. Yeah. But when it got front screen, man, and it was 13, like people were paying attention what the hell this was. Mm-hmm. And like that's cool. That's real cool.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. And I'm glad that there was some good games being filmed there. One, to immortalize it, and to that there was great entertainment,
Speaking of like them live streaming, if I could give them some constructive criticism, great personalities, both man, I forget his name, the dude that plays StarCraft, and Frankie. Yeah. They great attitudes, know the game a lot, but technically, like they had very poor communication with the players to like know what's going on.
That's what I got, that same feedback from somebody today that watched a lot. Because they're just watching the same thing that the Twitch viewers are watching, so they don't actually. They're like, I think that's a Zangor.
Yeah. So it's literally the same as you watching it normally, and then they're just commentating. Like they're not like in there, but they're in the same room. Like they're right there. Like they have the resources. I mean, they can talk to this. They have like the ability to point at things. Totally. Like, if it was just a simple way to mic them up and like not even
it's easy to mic them up. They just don't want to like get bigots or a bunch of cuss words and shit on their stuff.
I'm saying not mic them up so that the people can hear them, but so that they can hear them.
Oh, right. And and it was funny because somebody was telling me that same thing today, and like literally we have that same setup here in the store. I know that it's not difficult to do. It's just that it's a logistical thing. But yeah, you just take a mixer and you just route what goes to the headphones and you route what goes to the audience. It's super easy.
Yeah, and if they just had a way to mic them up so that the commentators can know what's going on when they're rolling dice, because you don't need to know someone's strategy. These guys are good enough where they're not hearing what the commentators are saying. And like the commentators know the game well enough. I mean, one of them's a test player, probably both of them are, and they know what's going on. So when they're like in a game and they're saying, "Oh, this model shooting this model, what toughness is this? What strength is this?" Like these guys know that. They have all their rules right there on a tablet. Like if they just heard what was going on in the game, and then like the camera, like at first they were pretty rough with the cameras using the robot cameras, but towards the end, like especially. I think game 2 on Sunday, they were getting really good at those cameras. So I think just like using them over and over again, getting better relay, they could have something great there. Right. They really could. But right now, it's hard to watch. Like if I wasn't painting and doing other things, like that would have been really hard for me to like have on. Yeah. But the fact that it was the LVO, I kind of knew what was going on, and I was just sitting here painting. It was okay. But if I was trying to watch that as like entertainment or to get myself into the game, like, it would be really difficult. Yeah. I needed to either hear the players or know what's going on at that moment, like watching us.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed, well, so like you've seen our, like when we live streamed our tournament, did it help with the top down view, even if you can't recognize the models as clearly, just by hearing the players play the game? Does that help you stay more in tune to what's going on?
It does if you watch from the beginning.
Yeah, otherwise it can be difficult. You need that narration from the commentators to be able to keep it going.
Yeah, because like when you're watching the game from the beginning, you can see the deployment. You now can follow the models and track what's going on from a top-down view. But when you're getting to a situation of getting into the middle of a game because it's live and you can't go back because it's on Twitch, you're really stuck at either a scoreboard or the chat basically filling you in unless the commentators are giving you recap turn by turn. Yeah. And so, I mean, if you don't have commentators like we don't, because it just takes too many people, at least if the players can take the time to give commentary of their turn, like I know it's a lot to ask for, especially like someone just trying to get a game on and they just like, oh, you can film it. I have no big problems with that. Right. And they just want to play a game. It's a lot to ask for, especially if you're trying to beat somebody and you don't want to give them your strategy for that turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this turn set me up so I could do this, this, and this. Like, that's great breakdown, but you're not going to say that with your opponent right next to you. I mean, I will if I'm at home and we're practicing for a tournament. I'll tell my opponents all the time, this is what I'm trying for, because
for sure.
I want their very best. So, like, if they know what I'm going to do, we're just basically assuming that they're a smart enough player that they know my army well enough to pick out what I'm doing.
Totally.
Like, that's how I'm looking at it.
I do it all the time too. I'll do it even in competitive play. And I was almost something I have to like catch myself and say, stop telling them.
In competitive play, it all depends on my opponent.
Yeah.
Like, if my opponent is not ready for something that I'm about to do, I walk them through it. Like, that 1,500 point tournament I played, there was literally in every game, I did the fight again stratagem for 3 command points, and I didn't fight again. I just used it to tie something up. And like every game I had to explain like what I'm about to do. Like, as I got into the charge, I was like, so this is what I'm doing. I'm charging these dudes. I can declare them on this unit, this unit. Now these units are further, so I can't declare it because they're outside of 12. But what I can do is I can now pile in, consolidate based off of how many casualties, as long as I'm piling in and consolidating to the closest enemy model. And I mean, I can take as full of movement as long as I end up closer. So I might go sideways from where my model's at, but as long as I end up a tiny bit closer, I'm the legal move. And then I have to stay completely within coherency anytime my models move. So I explain the process. So I'm going to fight here. I'm going to fight here. I'm going to kill this first unit. Then I'm going to pile in. But this dude, since that unit's dead, there's no one attaching them. So they're going to take 6 inches this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the stratagem. Since there's no one around them, they're going to get another 6 inches towards your Leviathan. They're going to touch it. You'll get to be able to fight, but now he's locked up and you don't get flamers and able to shoot now.
Yeah.
Hey, they're like, bam.
I didn't cross-reference this the other day to double-check myself, but like when you the way when you charge, you got to end your move within 1 inch of one of the units that you charge with one of your models. But you could take, like, for instance, like unlike pilot and consolidate where you have to move towards the nearest enemy, as long as one of your models from the unit that you're charging with gets within 1 inch of one of your targets, the rest of the guys can take that charge distance and go which direction they want, right? They could technically go backwards. Like if you had like a 20-man unit, one goes back, one goes forward, and you can make, right?
I do this all the time. This is literally my favorite part of the game. So when you do charges, you can take the full amount. Now, the thing that most people don't know, and is if it's a home game, I'm pretty relaxed about it. But I have to make a note every time I do this. Your closest unit to the charging unit, your closest model to the charging unit, it has to move within 1 inch first.
Oh, that's the very first move you make is the closest model to one of the closest charging units, or one of the charging units.
Yes.
That's okay. I didn't realize that. That's a little detail in the way it reads, huh?
Yeah, so you can't like take that dude that's all the way up to the front and then keep him going past the unit. He's got a touch, but the next guy after him can go all the way past, and then your other guys can then follow in coherency.
Do you remember how it kind of sets that up with the way the reading goes? I could pull up.
I am not 100% sure, and I don't.
It's something like when you make a charge move, take the closest model and go within 1 inch of the enemy.
Yeah, it says something about like the closest model has to go straight within 1 inch.
Yeah,
but when you multi-charge, you now can like
manipulate that. Yeah,
you can manipulate it. But yeah, I love doing it because I will be in a situation where my guys will be outside of out of a bubble of like reroll ones or fearless or something like that. And when I make those charges, I then tail myself away from my opponent because I'm already not going to be able to pile in all the way anyways. But I still plan on killing the unit, so I tail myself in a way to get my buffs.
Yeah.
And then I do my pile-ins to touch as much as possible. That's why, like, I can't play with movement trays. Like, I would love to just support movement trays all day long, but my play style limits me to, like, I have to be, like, every model has to be micromanaged.
Yeah, I still think it helps get you to the table just for that. But like you said, you go right from your case to the table. It just depends. It can.
And my desk go right back into the case. I don't like having a dead pile on the table.
It's also nice for like when you have a case, it helps with your morale. It's nice to be able to just stack them into a movement tray and be like, okay, that's what's died this turn. There's several things that movement trays can help with, even if you have that stringy play style. But I hear you. It being able to micromanage your each individual model is highly important with optimizing combat.
Yeah, that's why I'm like really excited about Gene Stealers, man. And when I was watching Chris play, I was like, man, there's not enough for me. He's using too many characters and their special rules, and not enough just like micromanaging and getting the combat dudes to do the work.
Yeah, I thought that the biggest downfall to me in that game was that I was making that big long conga line of plague bearers. I couldn't get enough killing power out of the unit, and because I was only getting like partial parts of the unit fighting any one thing. So I should have been more of just a swarm, like a singular blob that just hit any one thing instead of trying to multi-charge so many things.
That's interesting that you actually consider your plague bearer unit a killing unit.
Well, that's how, when you're playing with 90 of them and you put all your points into, buffing them up, they can definitely kill shit, It's
I know they can. Yeah. I just hate the aspect they have no AP.
Yeah, the reroll to wound, though, I mean, and the multi-damage, it starts to really, you're going to slip some through, and when it kills what you're going against, then that's good enough,
Yeah, no, Nurgle's super strong. It's just my personal, way when I build lists. I look at everything this way. If a unit, whatever its points equal up to, can it kill a unit throughout the game with its equal points reliably, or can it hold an objective for 4 turns reliably?
Sure.
That is the rule of thumb. It's can it reliably kill something, or can it reliably hold something? Even supporting characters, I look at them that way. Can they kill something, or are they going to hold something? Because a change caster, for instance, it's non-targetable. It can't kill shit, but because it's not targetable, I can plan on an objective, and it holds an objective while my screen stays out from it. So that's a good unit for me.
Epidemus does that too for me.
Yeah, exactly. Epidemus does that. Nurglings, they can't kill shit, but they can definitely hold an objective for 4 turns if you play them right.
Yep.
They're amazing unit.
I really like the Beast of Nurgle lately, which again, no AP, but the Beast of Nurgle can really drop some pain, man.
Oh, dude, if you roll right with the Beast of Nurgle, and especially if you have a great unclean one so that you can bring ones back, it is nasty because it just doesn't go away.
Yeah, and the D6 attacks, the reroll to wound, the 5 wounds, toughness 5, 5 up save.
And it can heroically intervene.
Yeah, it's strong. It does work. And if you fall back from it in combat, you take a mortal wound on a 4+. Yeah.
I dig a Beast and Nurgle. It's just they are very susceptible to las cannons.
Yeah, fair.
You get a couple las cannons on the board, and they're like, "Oh, that's an easy target."
Yeah, they're pretty fun to play, though, I've got to say. Yeah, I got to change up my. I've been playing a lot of my Nurgle list. I got to remix it. I'm kind of Space Wizards are calling me a little bit just to bring them off the shelf, and definitely, I really want to play Khorne in Age of Sigmar. I need to study that game. There's so much stuff to do, man.
Dude, I just want Khorne to be good again, so bad.
Yeah,
it's not feasible to play. If there's true line of sight, you're just getting shot off the board. If you don't have enough command points, you have no tricks in the bag. It is just so horrible. And then I'll try to complain about stuff.
Shadespire says he's been eyeing Custodes. Gordito says, show the picture. I can't recall what picture he might be describing. The Nurgle army or Space Wolves. I don't have a picture ready, Gordito. Or Drakari, Shadizo says. Dude, make a Khorne red trucker hat that says, make Khorne great again.
Dude, I've thought about it. I'm not even playing. I'm always thinking about making Khorne great again. I want it to be a big thing. Red hats, make Khorne great again. And I want to wear it at, rallies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to upset the weak folk.
Seeing if I can load up some Space Wolf pictures for
Custodies are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised they don't do better as a solo army. I know they're really expensive and they're very elite, but man, they are awesome. The fact that your characters that are in armor, I forgot the dude's name, but when you have a dude that's in armor, not the bikes, they can throw a haywire grenade, or no, tanglefoot grenade, and it makes people's charge like ridiculously hard. So like you can use it in a way to like stop people from charging, and then have bikes nearby and they counter charge, and like you're charging people in their turn. Like that's ridiculous.
Right.
Dude, I'm a big fan of the Custodes. Honestly, if I played Imperial, I'd probably pick up Custodes. I really enjoy elite armies. Even though I play a horde army, it's just I enjoy the style of elite. Like bring back the Brass Scorpion.
Totally.
Bring back Bloodthirsters. Like, dude, I remember my 7th edition list. I had a Chaos Knight when it was actually called a Chaos Knight, not a Renegade Knight, because it had a 5-up invul. I had a Bloodthirster. I had Demon Princes. I had a Juggalord that turned into a Bloodthirster or a Demon Prince. Like, I had a Herald with Possessed inside of a Rhino. Like, that shit was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I had dogs, and, like, the Juggalord could join up with the dogs in a unit. It was fantastic.
Dude, don't even tell me, man. I used to love it, too. I used to run all my Blood Crushers, and I had so much fun. I had all my Flesh Hounds.
Dude, it was such an awesome MSU elite corn army. I just smashed fools.
I'm also super excited. Like all my Flesh Hounds and Blood Crushers, they're on Age of Sigmar bases, like the old fantasy bases, squares and whatnot. And I just found to 3D print the conversions to make them ovals and make them the big round bases that are on the new Blood Crushers. And I can't wait. I can't wait to put that shit on there. But they're like not even playable to do.
Oh, dude, trust me. When this tournament, I was playing with a unit of 5 Blood Crushers. The most they did was sat on an objective and didn't get killed.
Oh, that's so sad.
That was the most they did. Like they would get into combat and not kill something because they didn't have a high enough strength. They're only 7 going against toughness 8. And then they would try to run up the board and get shot before they ever got to the target. And then the best game is when I played them 2 kg, kept them in the back. They held an objective every turn, and they got me table quarters at the end of the game. That was the best they did.
All I can hope, James, is that the lack of chaos being in top tables and winning majors is going to just turn it around to give us some swinging dick power here down the line.
No, what they're going to do is take away Zangors. They're going to take away Cultist Bombs. They're going to take it away, George. They're taking it all away, and they're going to say, you know what? You need to buy Chaos Space Marines, the new Marines.
No.
You're going to buy a new Possess, and you're going to have to buy Obliterators because Obliterators are awesome, but they're
Demons.
Variable, and they're going to be like, you got to buy Abaddon because your old Abaddon model sucks, and you got to buy all this new shit, and none of your old shit works. That's what they're going to do. You know it, George. You know it.
I want to make corn great again, too. Shadizo's talking about if he goes Custodes, he's going to have to throw up, get some black and gold. I got a picture for you, Shadizo.
You would truly enjoy Custodes, man.
Look at this pic on screen, James. I love this pic. Just a bunch of those black and gold in one place. That is some good Custode color there.
It is. But Custodes are easy to paint. You can do a lot of conversions with them. Like, since they're very elite, like, you can spend a lot of time into one model, and it actually goes somewhere. Dude, huge fan of Custodes.
Yep.
You can pair with all your other stuff.
I like them too. When it comes to Imperium, like the Space Wolves, they're just different than the standard cookie cutter Space Marine. So I'm about it too. They're cool looking models, and they got that like Legionnaire, like Roman kind of style to them. I also like that. I was always into Gladiator.
Did you know, like the lore of the Custodes, when they're told to guard something, they got to stand there and guard it for 10 years. Without moving, sleeping, or eating.
What? Why?
Because that's what they're told to do, and that's their life for 10 years, and they get a break, and then they do it again.
Dang, they sound militant.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be the elitist of the elite, dude. They just guard the fucking Emperor's grave.
They're like Spartans. For Sparta.
Sparta.
Well, you know what? Funny enough, just on topic, I did bring this one little pic, not licensed to use or anything, but keep calm, praise Papa Nurgle.
Dude, as far as the knights, I think for the big class, the Castellan, I think what they're going to do, because they still want to sell that bad boy, a lot of people have them, and they're not going to want to piss everyone off.
Right.
I think they're going to make that strat not better than a 4-up for the bigger class. I'm calling it now. I think that's how they're going to do it. Because what makes that model so nasty is people may give it a 3-up. When you have a 3-up invul on something with 28 wounds, it's dumb. Just dumb. It makes a lot of people angry.
Yeah. Yeah, I played like a small little 1,000-point match against the Custodes several weeks back, and I had tons of bodies. I just brought a bunch. I just had on me like my plague bearers and shit. So I just had like a bunch of plague bearers, a demon prince, and I outnumbered the Custodes by like easily 3-1. And they just sat there with those 3-up invuls and just tanked everything and just slowly murdered my entire demon horde. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, dude, just think about it. When Magnus first got on the field and he had his 3-up invul, people were like, oh my God, he's so hard to kill, blah, blah, blah. The dude had 16 wounds.
Yeah, 18 actually.
Or 18, okay. But like, add like 8 more. And that's the Castellan. And then the fact that once you wound it a lot, you're like, oh, it's degraded. No, I got a strat for that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, I've only lost 1 game against the Castellan, and it was chapter approved, like, Maelstrom missions, and I lost by objectives. Like, and it was like close game, 4 points. I have yet to like lose by like dying to one of those things, but I understand the feel badsies that come from it. Because if you don't know if you don't have an answer for it,
right?
Like, there's a problem. My answer is I ignore the damn thing until my demon prince gets into it and it fights twice. Because it only gets that invul in shooting. It doesn't get it in the fight phase. I got -4 AP. I do D6 damage. I reroll wounds. I hit on 2s, rerolling 1s, and I can fight twice with 3 command points. That thing goes down.
Hell yeah.
But that's because I have an answer to it. Most people don't have an answer to it. So it creates a problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm getting all blown up on my phone here. People asking about the store and stuff. Sorry, I got distracted, but we're actually this is a kind of random closure here, but I'm feeling like we're reaching the end of this episode as I start to yawn and things. It's 58 minutes in, and just want to say thank you to Shadizo, Gordito, Chicken Bone for stopping in for that brief moment. And the usual suspects, thanks for joining us again for another episode here, guys. Episode 42. Yes. It was good, James. I think we had some nice conversations today about the tabletop wargaming community and things going on in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, enjoyable. I always enjoy these evenings. It was sad not having Chris here.
Yeah.
But we talked about some cult without him.
Yep. Yeah.
And I've been liking the idea of his 3 Flyrants with cult.
It's painful.
Just taking a Supreme Command of that, because like it adds the shooting and fly that like Gene Stealers don't have, and like you're not dipping too far into the nids at that point.
It was a pain in the ass to deal with last night. It was like the whole time I was fighting those Flyrants, and it wasn't even the cult. It hadn't even came out yet, and it was just like, you fucking Flyrants. That 4-up invul gets so annoying.
Dude, I know, and like that's where I'm like, dude, cult's amazing as it is, but like the meta used to be 7 Flyrants. Like, why not have 3 and then have this awesome army that can do Vect?
It's great. It's great.
Like, I like that idea.
It's great.
So, I just wish I could have talked to him about it maybe next week after he's played it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was great talking to you guys. Keep taking fun seriously.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff to come. Everybody take care. And if you're anywhere near Virginia, come to the tournaments we're throwing in these upcoming weeks.
Hey, it's Valentine's Day. Go get some.
Yeah.
Go blue balls for anybody.
Bow, chick, bow, bow. See you later.